All right, check it out. So I'm gonna go deep for a moment into my thought sphere, right? 1984 thought crime. I'm going into my own mind and steal a thought and bring it out for y'all. This is what I got. So my form of PTSD, complex PTSD, comes with nightmares, right? Nightmares are recurring dreams of not being able to find people. The people that are now in my life, trying to be in my life, have been in the dreams for so long that they don't seem real to me, right? My reality is a created reality, which had to be created in order to save myself from ideations of darkness and ending the story before the story's ending is written. If that makes any sense, then you can follow along. If not, please move along. The reason why is because I don't want to confuse anybody about the way my thoughts work with the reality that you think is real. So, in studying all of the Alice in Wonderlands, what has been found is an interpretation of the Red Queen. The Red Queen being that which dominated the planet Earth, moved people around like chess pieces. I won't go too deep because it could be offensive to some. I'm just going with the storyline. Anybody who might be following along and needing to understand my process. So the Red Queen, if you watch all the movies, I don't want to spoil alert it because I want to send you guys through this, but I have to give you a recap of all three movies. When you get to the end, you figure out the Mad Hatter was a young boy named Taryn who grew up being emotionally, his father was emotionally insensitive. His mother told him you're too hard on the boy. So this is not a story about Alice in Wonderland. This is a story about a boy named Taryn being saved by a little girl named Alice, who through her whole life stuck with this friend who was obviously in mental turmoil. Follow along. So the whole story of Taryn High Top, which later became called the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter was ostracized from his family after laughing at the Red Queen. He was an emotionally insecure child, which grew into an emotionally unstable man. While his father wanted him to be a hatter, he was abused as a child and therefore was unable to regulate his emotions. Where some people can stand stoic and not laugh, he could not control it, costing his family their place in the kingdom. And therefore, the Red Queen declared war on the Hatter's family. Remember this now. So the man named Taryn left home after being finally refused, rejected, cast aside by his father. He said, well, you don't mind if I leave home then, father? And he leaves. As he leaves home, he goes out into the wilderness. Think about this. The wilderness is the mind, unrestrained mind, the potential of mind, unrestrained, unencumbered mental power, which is true life. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. I'm giving you the best recap of Albert Einstein. So Taryn, free from all of the constraints of his father and the crown and the Red Queen and the crown and the Red Queen and the misery of that world, the Mad Hatter became free in his own world with a bunch of mythical creatures. Each of these creatures represented something, and they continually had tea time. Where am I going with this? What I need you to comprehend most is that the Red Queen, when she declared war on the Hatter's family, one day made the Hatter's family very small. How can you make someone feel small? Psychological warfare makes people feel small. Put them in an ant cage. What's an ant cage? The ghetto. So the Wiz and all of these other stories, not to go too deep into all of these other stories that were written in those times, would help us realize that if we weren't careful, we would lose ourselves. So think of that perspective. Because in the third movie, the Hatter fights the Red Queen with the help of Alice, his dear friend, who comes and travels through worlds and dimensions to meet with him and help him save his family. She travels through time. She meets time, almost makes friends with time to save this friend, almost destroys the fabric of reality itself to save one person. Who in your life is worth saving? What mountain will you cross to get there? When she found the Hatter, he was broken, because it was not his Alice. His Alice will believe him. That is the psychosis of a person not being able to connect or no longer relate with the people he once connected with. Mad Hatterism. Forgetting you're a Terran. Forgetting you were once a child. All you can feel is pain. So you need that one to come and remind you of what could be good. But you need that one that will also sit with you in your Mad Hatterness. You got to be much more muchier to sit with me because I'm much more muchier. My reality is more fun than the reality that people shove down my throat. That's not even real. That nobody believes in no more, but you hold on to it and you double down on it and you hope that it becomes true one day and you keep telling everybody about it. And I just decided to shut the fudge up because if I shut up long enough, I hear myself in all the many forms that I've created to protect self. The Mad Hatterism. I've created all these mythical creatures to protect self. That nigga Kane, Aboriginal, all these different constructs of the mind to save Robbie McGee from Mad Hatterism. Y'all ain't gonna even understand that. But those that do, like, subscribe, comment. Let's talk about this. Alice in Wonderland theory, Mad Hatterism, and a young boy named Taryn. As you hear from the inner child, man, it's a lot of people out there observing just for the fact of trolling and all of that. Keep scrolling, please. This is for people who want to heal their inner child. This is not for people to hate. Although I will accept that if you do hate, you still communicated with me. If you preach to me on this line, I'll still accept that you interacted with me. I'll still accept that you are choosing to be a part of my life. Like I have no choice but to be a part of your story. This story is the story of the Mad Hatter. This is no longer Alice in Wonderland. This is the Mad Hatter in Mad Hatterland. This is the Mad Hatter tea time. This is me being me, even though it's not allowed by the Red Queen. Find your peace, find your center, and you will find home. Find your tribe, nurture them, give them bandages, and watch the loyalty sprout in your garden. Watch the friendships blossom. Watch the people who need you most show you that they will be there for you when they need you. Create the perspective and the change of the switch that allows you to see the light that your family has actually been trapped in a really small mindset perspective, which does not allow them to see you as the giant that you are. And so they needed you to be small. They needed you to be tiny. They needed you to feel like crap because they felt like crap. And there's no way that you can stand above them, right? This is the pecking order created by the Red Queen. Destroy the Red Queen. Even in, what's that other movie? Come on, dog. Resident Evil, the Red Queen, y'all. Like, man, I ain't even high yet neither. Like, this is me talking, coming out of a recurring nightmare, realizing that somehow my mind has been implanted with all these fears. Nas said that paranoia passed to him to his mother's blood, through his mother's blood. I be studying lyrics, y'all. Y'all don't even know me. That's why I don't choose to really get into the conversation yet with my music, because it's like y'all not really ready. My man said, I'm making love, waiting on lost minds to settle. Then I wake up like Alien 3. Who is the Alien 3? Come on. This nigga, he wasn't talking about no movie. He was talking about the man to come. Who is the unconscious? Come on, man. Who is the unconscious sleeping giant? And who is dissatisfied enough with the world to wake up? The unconscious sleeping giant. I can't give you all my math because y'all not ready for my math. Killer Priest was ready for my math, and I appreciate that connection because I just needed to thank the brother. It's a lot of people I want to thank. Like, I'm going to straight up just be real. Like, it's a lot of people I want to thank. But right now, knowing that I am in a chapter of Walter Reed's book, you feel me? I'm a chapter of Walter Reed's book, right? And he a chapter of my book, and we a chapter of somebody else's book, and then there's some cosmic child that's writing this story. Yeah. So I'll be dropping these gems just to show y'all that insanity is actually sanity. Vice versa is really true. And the Mad Hatter is really Terran High Top. Go save your inner child, bro.